This audiobook unveils the long-hidden knowledge of magnetic wealth, the sacred art of becoming a living magnet for prosperity. As you listen, you'll discover an ancient truth. Wealth isn't something you chase, it's something you attract. By awakening the hidden force within you, abundance will begin flowing into your life in ways you've never experienced before. Chapter 1. The Call of Abundance. A hush falls over the world as night settles in. In the stillness, you sense a gentle whisper calling out to you. It's the same whisper that ancient seekers heard in the quiet hours. A soft voice carrying the promise of abundance. Imagine yourself standing at the edge of a serene forest in the deep blue twilight. The air is warm and filled with the scent of jasmine and old oak, and in the distance you notice a faint golden glow between the trees. Curiosity leads you forward, barefoot on cool moss, toward that mysterious light. With each step, your heart beats calmly, in tune with the subtle pull of something magical. This is the call of abundance, drawing you into a journey long foretold and prepared just for you. In this twilight vision, you find an ancient wooden door, intricately carved with symbols of stars and spirals, half hidden by vines. The golden light seeps out from the edges of the door, inviting and warm. Without fear, you reach out and press your palm against the door, feeling a pleasant tingling in your fingertips. To your surprise, the door opens silently at your touch. It's as if it recognizes you, as if it has been waiting for you for centuries. You step through and enter a circular stone chamber lit by flickering candles. The walls are lined with towering shelves of leather-bound books and scrolls, and the air hums with quiet power. At the center of the chamber lies a large book on an altar, its cover shimmering with age and light. This is the source of the glow. You approach the altar with reverence, noticing that the book's cover is engraved with a single word: secret knowledge. Your fingers lightly trace the lettering, and you feel a gentle warmth radiating from the book, as if it's alive. You open it to the first chapter and find the page blank at first. But then, words begin to form on the page in golden ink, as though an invisible quill is writing in real time. In a calm, melodic voice only you can hear, the book begins to narrate itself to you. It speaks directly to your heart, and you realize this voice is the same whisper that led you here. Dear seeker, the voice begins, echoing softly in the chamber. Welcome. You have answered the call of abundance. As you listen, you feel a wave of peace wash over you. The voice is gentle and wise, neither male nor female, carrying the ageless authority of one who knows great secrets, yet wrapped in infinite kindness. You sense that you can trust these teachings completely, and so you allow yourself to relax further, sinking into a state of receptive calm. The voice continues. Know that this journey you are beginning is a sacred one. For ages, wise souls have passed down fragments of this secret knowledge, sometimes hidden in parables and myths, sometimes whispered in prayers at midnight. Now it has come to you. You who seek the truth of wealth and prosperity are ready to remember what was once known and then forgotten. You are ready to reclaim your birthright of abundance. You take a deep breath, letting these words settle. All around, the candles seem to glow a little brighter, as if responding to the energy of the words. In your chest, a gentle warmth grows, hope, excitement, and a sense of coming home. The world outside this moment fades away. Any worries or doubts you carried begin to melt like morning dew under a rising sun. You are here now, fully present and open. The very fact that you are listening, that you have entered this inner sanctum of wisdom, means that you have already accepted the invitation to become something more, to become a magnet for all that is good and abundant. Understand, the voice says, that abundance is your natural state. In the grand design of the universe, scarcity is an illusion, a temporary cloud passing across the face of the sun. The truth, like the sun, is ever present. The universe is infinitely abundant. There is more than enough for everyone. The only reason you have experienced lack is because this secret knowledge was hidden, buried under generations of fear and doubt. But as you awaken to these truths, the illusion will fade. As these words flow into you, you feel a resonance deep in your soul, as if some part of you already knows this to be true. Perhaps you have always suspected it. In moments of quiet clarity, you sense that life could be more generous than it appeared, that somewhere, just out of sight, there was a wellspring of prosperity waiting for you. That intuition was correct. And now, what was once a faint suspicion is being confirmed and expanded upon in vivid detail by this ancient voice. To emphasize the point, the voice offers a simple story. Once, in a time long forgotten, a humble farmer lived in a barren land. Year after year, he toiled in dry soil and prayed for rain, but the skies remained empty. One night, weary and desperate, he wandered up a hill under the stars, seeking guidance. In the stillness, he heard the gentle voice of the earth. It whispered to him that far beneath his feet, an underground river flowed, vast and nourishing. The water was there all along, but it was hidden from sight. The next morning, the farmer woke with newfound hope. He began to dig, deep and tirelessly, guided by faith in what he had heard. And at the very spot where he had received the message, he struck the underground stream. Crystal clear water surged up, blessing the land with fertility and abundance. The crops flourished, and the desert bloomed into a garden. You see, the voice explains, the farmer's abundance was always present, just beneath the surface, waiting to be tapped. In the same way, an infinite reservoir of wealth and blessings lies within and around you, waiting for you to discover it. The call of abundance that you answered by coming here is like the whisper of that hidden river. Trust it. It guides you to your own inner source of prosperity. As you reflect on this story, you begin to realize that wealth is not something distant or separate from you. It isn't locked away by others, nor is it a prize for only the few. It is as natural and present as the air you breathe or the ground beneath you. Just as the ocean shares its waves with every shore, the universe shares its riches with every soul. If we learn how to tune in and receive. Take a slow, gentle breath now. Feel the air filling your lungs, nourishing you effortlessly. As you exhale, release any tension in your body. Notice how the air was there for you all around, even before you took that breath. Abundance is like that, always present, ready to flow in when you open to it. In this safe, sacred space, you can let go of any lingering worries or scarcity mindset. You don't need them here. They were only clouds before the truth. Allow those clouds to drift away now. In their place, let confidence and calm expectation take root. The voice in the book speaks again, guiding you to affirm some truths to yourself. In a soft whisper, either aloud or in the silence of your mind, repeat these affirmations, letting their meaning sink deeply into your subconscious. I am connected to an infinite source of abundance. Abundance is my birthright and natural state. I welcome wealth in all areas of my life with an open heart. I release all fear of lack and step into trust and faith. The universe is generous, and it is guiding me to prosperity. Feel free to pause for a moment and really feel each statement. There is no rush. As you affirm these ideas, picture them like seeds you are planting in fertile soil. The soil is your receptive mind, and tonight these seeds will take root. Over time, with each chapter, they will grow into a lush garden of manifested wealth in your reality. Already, you might sense subtle shifts within you, a lightness, a tingling, or a calm certainty growing. This is the energy of your mindset beginning to transform, aligning with the truth of abundance. With every gentle beat of your heart, you are tuning into the frequency of plenty. The same way a radio dial turns from static to a clear, beautiful music station. That music is the harmony of the universe's prosperity, always playing, and now you are learning to listen. The voice from the book continues softly, weaving wisdom with encouragement. It tells you that this journey will unfold one chapter at a time, each revealing a new aspect of the secret knowledge. Like climbing a sacred mountain path, each step or each lesson will bring you a little higher, your view of life expanding with each elevation. By the end, you will stand at the summit, seeing clearly that you carry the power of a money magnet within you, the power to draw wealth as surely as gravity draws the tides. But tonight, under these candlelit arches of the first chamber, you don't need to worry about the summit. All you need is to take the first step, which you already have done by being here. Trust the process. Trust yourself for answering the call. The same call has been answered by many wise ones before you. Saints, sages, visionaries, and even ordinary folk who stumbled upon extraordinary truths. They are all cheering you on in spirit. For every soul who moves from fear to love, from lack to abundance, adds to the light of the world. Now, the core lesson of this opening chapter gently reveals itself to you. All is one, and from that oneness springs infinite abundance. The voice explains that you and the source of wealth are not separate. Just as the wave is one with the ocean, you are one with the universal source that creates galaxies and wildflowers and the money in your bank account. This might sound mystical, but it is actually a fundamental truth of existence. When you truly internalize that you are connected to everything, lack loses its foothold in your mind. How can you be lacking when you are literally made of the same essence as every treasure in the world? Close your eyes for a moment if you haven't already, and imagine looking up at a night sky filled with stars. Each star represents a blessing, a piece of abundance. One might be financial wealth, another opportunity, another love, another health. There are countless stars. Now imagine those stars aren't just above you, but also within you, as if you contain a whole cosmos in your heart. See that those inner stars shine just as bright. This vision symbolizes that the universe of abundance is inside you as well as around you. As above, so below. As within, so without. The ancient Hermetic sages spoke that truth millennia ago, and it still echoes now for you to hear. You are a microcosm of the macrocosm, meaning the boundless abundance of the universe exists in miniature within your very being. When you desire wealth or any good thing, you are not asking for something foreign or distant. You are simply awakening something that already exists inside you, bringing it forth into your life experience. The voice assures you, every genuine desire you have is life seeking to express and expand through you. Your dream of prosperity is the universe's dream for you as well. This is why you can trust your positive desires. They were planted in you like seeds by the divine source itself. You were meant to grow, to flourish, to prosper. Think of yourself as a beloved child of the universe. Would a loving parent want their child to live in lack and fear? Of course not. They would want you to be safe, provided for, joyful, and thriving. The universe is no different. It is both the mother and father of creation, and it wants nothing more than to share its boundless riches with you, its precious offspring. Any message you have received to the contrary, that you aren't deserving, that money is scarce or evil, that life must be a struggle, those were misunderstandings passed down by those who had forgotten this divine relationship. But you are starting to remember. Feel that gentle remembrance stirring in your soul like morning light. You are remembering that you are worthy of every good thing. Wealth is not separate from spirituality. In fact, true wealth is deeply spiritual because it is part of the fullness of life. Money, in its highest understanding, is just a form of energy, an exchange of value and love between people. There is nothing impure about it when it's aligned with the heart. It's okay to welcome financial prosperity because you can do so much good with it for yourself, your family, and the world. It is okay to choose a life of ease and plenty. You do not help anyone by being poor or by shrinking your light. By rising into abundance, you become an inspiration and a benefactor, lighting the way for others to do the same. The chamber you stand in seems to subtly transform as you accept these truths. The once empty stone floor is now blooming with small, delicate flowers between the cracks, as if your very acceptance of abundance is causing life to spring forth around you. A gentle breeze wafts through the doorway behind you, carrying the scent of those flowers and the promise of more wisdom to come. Before closing the first chapter, the voice in the book imparts a final guiding thought. Abundance begins with an open mind and an open heart. You have opened yours tonight. Continue to listen with this openness, and you will be forever changed. The secret knowledge will awaken the power within you, and what once seemed impossible will become as natural as breathing. Money, success, peace, these will flow to you with ease, drawn by the transformation happening inside you. You are destined to become a living magnet for miracles and wealth. You stand there for a moment in deep appreciation. Perhaps you gently speak a thank you into the air, thanking the book, the universe, and yourself for bringing you here. In your heart, you feel a response, a warm assurance that you are welcome, that you have every right to these gifts. Now, a comfortable heaviness is settling into your limbs, not a burden, but a relaxing weight that signals it's okay to rest. If your eyes grow heavy or if sleep comes, that's perfectly fine. Your subconscious mind will continue to absorb these words and images even as you sleep, integrating them into your being. In fact, as you drift off, the seed of abundance planted tonight will sink even deeper into fertile soil, where the rational mind's doubts cannot reach, and there it will germinate peacefully. Should you still be awake, you may notice the candles dimming ever so slightly, as if encouraging you to pause and rejuvenate. The golden letters on the book's pages shimmer softly, waiting for the next time you open to continue the journey. There is no hurry. Abundance is patient and ever present. It has waited for you until now, and it will continue to guide you step by step. With a heart full of promise, you step back from the altar, knowing that when you return, the next chapter will be ready to reveal its secrets. You have taken the first step on this path to awakening wealth within. Already, the transformation has begun. For now, allow yourself to rest in this feeling of hope and certainty. You might imagine yourself curling up comfortably in that very chamber, perhaps wrapping a soft cloak of peace around your shoulders. The ancient book glows gently beside you, like a night light of wisdom watching over your slumber. You close your eyes, feeling the solidity of the earth beneath and the vastness of the sky above, and you recognize that you are exactly where you need to be, embraced by the universe, guided and protected on your journey to abundance. Chapter 2: The Temple of Wealth Consciousness. The night deepens, and yet, within you, something awakens. You remain resting within the sacred sanctuary you discovered in Chapter 1, where the air is thick with candlelight and the presence of ageless truth. The golden book still rests open on the altar, its glowing letters fading gently into the parchment, as if the wisdom has already been absorbed by your very being. Around you, silence, stillness, and a sense of expectancy. And then, once more, you feel it. That subtle whisper returning not from the book this time, but from within your heart, as if the teachings have now lit a spark inside you, and that spark is calling you deeper. Slowly, the circular chamber begins to shift. The walls stretch upward into a tall, arched ceiling of starlit stone, and a hidden door opens in the far wall, carved with the symbol of the eye within the pyramid. It is the symbol of awakened awareness, of the all-seeing mind, of consciousness illuminated by truth. You feel drawn toward it. You pass through the door and step into a new space, the Temple of Wealth Consciousness. It is not made of gold or marble, but of smooth glowing stone that seems to hum with invisible frequencies. The very walls feel alive, vibrating with silent music. It is here that your second lesson is to be received not about the outer world of wealth, but the inner kingdom from which all abundance flows. Because wealth, real wealth, begins in consciousness, not in action, not in strategy, not in hustle, but in the silent cathedral of the mind. And so the voice returns, not from the book this time, but from within you. The same calm, ancient tone that greeted you before now, echoing from your own inner world. If you wish to become a magnet for money, you must first become a master of your inner world. For consciousness is the soil, and wealth is the fruit. The seed is planted in thought, watered by feeling, grown by belief, and harvested in action. You close your eyes in the temple, letting the truth of these words vibrate through your being. Let them settle deeply, because everything you experience externally was born first in consciousness. The zeros in your bank account, the opportunities or the lack thereof, the clients, the offers, the synchronicities. All of it is a reflection, a projection, a mirror. Just as a dreamer projects an entire dream from their mind while asleep, you too are projecting your life through the filter of your dominant wealth consciousness. And so the voice says, to change the mirror, you must first change the source. You cannot rearrange the reflection in the glass. You must change the light behind it. You are invited now to enter the first chamber of this temple room, bathed in a soft golden glow, where the floor is inscribed with symbols of the mind, spirals, stars, waves, and the ancient Greek word, nous, the divine mind. In the center stands a basin of still water. You approach and look into it. At first, you see only your own reflection, but then you begin to see beneath the surface your thoughts, your beliefs, your assumptions about money. They begin to rise like ripples through the water. Some are empowering, and some are not. You begin to see thoughts like, money is hard to get. I never have enough. People like me don't become wealthy. Each of them appears as a cloud in the water, distorting the reflection of your true self, and yet you do not judge them. You simply observe. This is the practice of the wealth witness to look clearly and compassionately at the ideas shaping your world. The voice invites you now to say softly within yourself, I now become aware of the beliefs I carry about money. I no longer accept scarcity as truth. I see my thoughts clearly, and I choose anew. The clouds in the water begin to dissolve, and beneath them, a deeper truth reveals itself. You begin to see thoughts rising like sunlight. I am worthy of wealth. Abundance flows to me easily and naturally. The universe supports my prosperity. These are not empty affirmations. These are codes of truth. They are the songs your soul has always sung, but that were drowned out by the noise of the world. As you look deeper, you realize, my wealth consciousness is not a product of circumstance. It is a choice, a cultivation, a garden I tend daily. You realize that money responds not to need, but to identity, not to desperation, but to resonance, not to striving, but to state of being. And so here, in this sacred space, you begin the true work of becoming what you seek, not by chasing, not by fighting, but by aligning. Take a breath now, a soft, steady breath. Let this affirmation ripple through you like a song. I align my thoughts with abundance. I align my emotions with wealth. I align my self-image with prosperity. This is the temple of wealth consciousness, and it responds not to action, but to frequency. You recall now a teaching from ancient Egypt, once whispered in the chambers of Hermetic initiates. As within, so without. As above, so below. As the mind, so the manifestation. You see it now with clarity. You are the cause. The outer world is the effect. Your mindset is the architect of your fortune. So let us return to the stillness. Let us sit here beside the basin of reflection and gently uproot the old programs. With your inner voice, softly repeat, I release all thoughts of lack. I release all guilt about desiring wealth. I release all fear that I am not enough. I release the belief that I must suffer to succeed. I release the lie that money is evil or unspiritual. And now, let us plant new thoughts, as if sowing seeds into sacred ground. Money flows to me as a reflection of my aligned mind. Wealth is a natural extension of my worth. My thoughts create pathways for prosperity to reach me. I am now tuned to the frequency of infinite abundance. I think thoughts that empower, uplift, and attract wealth. With every breath, you are rewriting your inner script. Your mind is the gatekeeper of your reality, and the gate is now opening. Suddenly, the golden walls of the chamber begin to glow more brightly. The water in the basin sparkles. The entire temple vibrates with a new tone. You have shifted something, not with force, but with clarity. Not with struggle, but with choice. You are now walking the path of mastery. As you rise from the basin and walk deeper into the temple, you notice a series of symbols etched into the corridor walls. Each one represents a lawa, spiritual law of wealth. These laws do not bend to emotion, nor are they swayed by circumstance. They operate at all times, just like gravity. And now, you come to a large door. Above it is inscribed, what you impress upon the mind must express in form. You recognize this as a teaching from Neville Goddard, and also from the ancient Hermetic sages. It is the principle of mental causation. You push open the door and find yourself in the second chamber of the temple. This one contains a vast mirror, not just any mirror, but a mirror of consciousness. As you stand before it, you notice something remarkable. This mirror does not reflect your outer form. It reflects your inner state. You watch as your current beliefs, thoughts, and emotional frequencies appear as colors and patterns in the mirror. Some bright, some dim. You begin to speak an affirmation, and immediately the colors shift. They grow more vibrant. The mirror begins to hum with energy. The voice returns. This is the secret few understand. Money is not impressed by action alone. It is drawn to frequency. It answers to belief. And belief is simply a thought you've accepted as true. You place your hand on your chest now and breathe in deeply. I believe in my worth. I believe in the flow of prosperity. I believe in the magnetic power of my mind. The mirror glows like the surface of the sun. You realize now that you can train your mind to believe in wealth just as easily as you once believed in scarcity. And so the final instruction of this chamber is offered. Create your daily mental diet. Feed your consciousness with high-frequency thoughts. Surround yourself with symbols of wealth. Speak abundance. Think abundance. Feel abundance. Be abundance. You exit the mirror chamber slowly, as if emerging from a dream within a dream. And yet, you carry something new with you. A shifted self-image. A more powerful identity. You have seen your inner world clearly and have begun to reshape it. You are now walking in the consciousness of abundance. And this temple, this practice, this awareness shall go with you wherever you go. No matter what happens in the outer world, your inner wealth consciousness is becoming unshakable. The voice offers one final blessing. You have entered the temple of the mind, and soon you shall enter the temple of emotion. For what the mind thinks, the heart must feel. And what the heart feels, the world must reflect. Let yourself rest now. Let the new idea settle. Let the transformation integrate softly and silently beneath the surface. And when you are ready, you may return, for Chapter 3 awaits. The next step in your journey to becoming a true money magnet. Chapter 3, the emotional magnetism of wealth. There is a shift happening inside you, subtle yet unmistakable, like a tide turning deep beneath the ocean. You've walked through the chamber of remembrance. You've stepped into the temple of the mind, and now something calls you deeper still. Not into thought, not into logic, but into feeling, into frequency, into the silent power that pulses beneath every manifestation. This is the sacred domain of emotion. And this, dear listener, is the hidden key most seekers overlook. They read, they study, they affirm, but they forget the simplest, most magnetic truth of all. The universe does not respond to your thoughts alone. It responds to your emotions. Yes, thought is the architect, but emotion is the builder. Emotion is what breathes life into vision, what ignites energy into motion, what activates the law of attraction at its deepest level. Emotion is the language of the subconscious mind, the vibration of the soul, and the pulse that aligns your inner magnet with the external world. Let that sink in now, as you step softly through the next threshold of your journey. The stone corridor gives way to open air, the roof of the temple falls away, and suddenly you find yourself beneath a vast, twilight sky where the stars hang low, humming with golden light. A gentle wind brushes across your skin, and you feel it not as a breeze, but as a presence. Something ancient, something living, something loving. You're no longer in a place of knowledge, you're in a place of energy. This chamber is made not of walls, but of feeling. Every color here breathes, every sound seems to echo within your chest. You walk slowly into a clearing where a small pool of water reflects the sky above. A single stone bench waits beside it, and you sit, without question, feeling a peace that goes beyond words. The kind of peace that only comes when you stop thinking and start feeling. Take a breath now. Not just a breath for your lungs, but a breath for your energy field, a breath for your emotional body. Let it rise slowly into your heart. Hold it, and let it go with ease. As you sit beside this sacred pool, you begin to feel emotions rising, not from memory, not from thought, but from the soul. Quiet joy, gentle gratitude, the soft glowing embers of receiving. No struggle, no resistance, just a calm, quiet acceptance that abundance is your birthright. And the voice that guided you through the earlier chambers, it returns now, softer than ever, more intimate than before. It speaks not from above you, but from within your chest. And it says, you do not attract what you want. You attract what you are. And what you are is what you consistently feel. You pause. You breathe again. And the truth of those words reverberates through you like the gentle strike of a singing bowl. The voice continues, you may say you want money, but if you feel desperation, you will attract more lack. You may say you want prosperity, but if you feel unworthy, you will attract delay. You may say all the right affirmations, but if your heart whispers fear, the universe will hear that instead. Let the meaning of that unfold in your awareness, because what you emit, you receive. And emotion, not words, is the signal the universe listens to most. This is why manifestation cannot be forced through logic, why your thoughts must be married to feeling, why visualization without emotion is like fire without heat. The form is there, but the magnetism is missing. Now look into the pool before you. It begins to shimmer, and you see something forming in the water, a vision of yourself. Not as you are, but as you are becoming. Standing tall, radiant, surrounded by wealth, not grasping at it, but glowing with it. It flows to you because it matches you. Not because you chased it, but because you felt it first inside. This is the great mystery. Money is drawn to those who already feel what money represents. Not those who seek, but those who embody. Abundance does not come to the desperate, it comes to the joyful. It flows to the open-hearted, the grateful, the ones who know how to receive without guilt, without shame, without apology. So now, let us begin the practice, the ancient art of emotional tuning. Close your eyes now, if they are not already closed, and turn your attention inward. Take a breath, and bring to your awareness a moment, any moment when you felt fully supported. It might be from childhood, or from a dream, or a future vision that feels just as real. A moment when you felt safe, loved, cared for. Let it arise. Let it take form. Now step into that moment. Feel the air of it, the color of it, the texture. Let your body remember the sensation of being supported. And as you do, allow this simple truth to rise. I am held. I am supported. I am not alone. Stay here. Let the feeling build. Let it fill your chest, your belly, your spine. Let it radiate beyond your skin. Let it form an aura of light around your body. This is your wealth field activating, not from money, but from feeling, not from having, but from being. Now, think of the feeling of freedom, not the word, not the idea of the feeling. Let it arise in your nervous system. What does freedom feel like in your body? Spacious? Light? Expansive? Let that energy flood you now. Then bring forth the feeling of relief, as if everything you've been waiting for has just arrived. Not tomorrow, not next year, but now. Let your shoulders drop. Let your breath deepen. Let your face soften into a gentle smile. Feel the relaxation that says, it's here, it's done, I don't need to chase anymore. Stay with that. Breathe in that emotion, because every time you feel this way, you are radiating a frequency that matches your desires. And when your feelings match your desires, the magnet activates. You become the tuning fork for your vision, and reality has no choice but to respond. You may feel tingles, you may feel heat, you may feel nothing but calm. All of it is perfect. You are not manufacturing a state. You are simply remembering your natural one. The state of abundance, the state of receivership, the state of gratitude, joy, and fulfillment. Now, bring your awareness to your heart center. Place your hand there, if it feels natural, and softly, gently, whisper within. I feel wealthy now. I feel safe now. I feel joy now. I feel free now. And then say, I no longer wait for money to feel this way. I feel this way, and money follows. Stay here as long as you wish. This is your sacred practice. This is your true point of attraction. No matter what your external reality looks like now, when you enter this state consistently, reality bends around you. You become a field of gravitational pull, not through effort, but through emotional resonance. The voice within you speaks again. Emotion is the electricity. Desire is the switch. Belief is the wire. Together, they complete the circuit of manifestation. You begin to see it clearly now. You don't have to force the universe. You don't have to hustle in fear. You simply have to tune your emotional frequency to the outcome you desire and remain in that state long enough for the outer to match the inner. Let yourself dwell here, dear soul, for this is your true home frequency. This is how miracles happen. Now gently release all effort. Let the feelings settle. Let them integrate. You are building a new baseline for your nervous system, a new emotional default. From fear to trust, from scarcity to sufficiency, from stress to flow, from chasing to receiving. And now that you've tasted this frequency, you will find it easier and easier to return to it. Even in the chaos, even in the noise, even in the silence of night, you carry it within. You are the source of the wealth you seek. Let's affirm this together now in the gentle language of your subconscious. I allow abundance to rise in me with every breath. I feel aligned with prosperity, even before it arrives. I no longer wait for the outer to change. I change my inner state now. Every cell of my body vibrates with the frequency of wealth. What I feel consistently, I attract inevitably. You remain seated beside the sacred pool a little longer, watching the stars above ripple in its surface. Feeling a stillness within that is both soft and powerful. You are no longer a seeker. You are no longer separate from what you want. You are a magnet now, a vessel, a beacon. And the wealth you desire is already on its way, not because you demanded it, but because you became the feeling of it. You rise slowly, calmly, carried by something greater than thought. You walk with reverence, not haste. You understand that the journey is not about doing more. It's about being more. And your being is changing. With every breath, your emotions align with abundance. With every breath, your frequency strengthens. With every breath, the magnet becomes more powerful. So let yourself rest now. Let this emotional state settle into your subconscious like ink sinking into water. Let it drift into your dreams. And know with certainty that you have activated something real. And when the morning comes, the world will begin to reflect the shift inside you. Because the outer always follows the inner, and the magnet is alive. Sleep well, money magnet. You've remembered one of the greatest secrets of all. And in the next chamber, you'll discover the key that unlocks your unshakable belief, the true gatekeeper of your financial destiny. And the journey continues. Chapter 4, The Unseen Gate of Belief. The path before you now is quieter, more narrow, more sacred. The light has dimmed, not from absence, but from reverence. The stars overhead flicker like soft candles. The silence is deep, but not empty. It is the silence of something about to be revealed. A secret long buried, a key long hidden. And you feel it, don't you? The truth that everything in your life, everything you have, everything you lack, everything you experience, has passed through a single gate before arriving. Not the gate of effort, not the gate of timing, not even the gate of talent, but the gate of belief. You slow your steps now. You feel the energy shift. You are arriving at one of the most sacred thresholds on this entire journey. The fourth chamber, the hidden key, the silent architect of your reality, the voice within you, your ancient guide, your higher self. It returns now, quieter than before. Not because it is distant, but because you are closer to it than ever. And it whispers, your beliefs are the blueprint, the invisible mold into which the universe pours your reality. You pause. Let that sink in. It is not your circumstances that shape your beliefs. It is your beliefs that shape your circumstances. Everything you see is the echo of what you believe to be true. If you believe you are unworthy, life will mirror it. If you believe money is hard to get, it will avoid you. If you believe success must be a struggle, it will demand it. Not because the universe is cruel, but because it is obedient. It is responding always unfailingly to the deepest beliefs you carry. Not the ones you say, not the ones you post, but the ones you hold in the quietest corners of your subconscious. And so now, you arrive at the unseen gate of belief. It is not made of stone, not of wood or metal. It is made of energy, and it only opens with a key made of certainty. The gate rises before you translucent, glowing faintly with the symbols of ancient languages. Not one tongue, but many: Egyptian, Hebrew, Sanskrit, Atlantean. And they all say the same thing, in their own way. As you believe, so shall it be done unto you. You approach, and the gate pulses. It senses your presence, but it does not open, not yet. The voice returns. To pass through the gate, you must first know what beliefs you carry, not what you wish you believed, but what you have accepted as true. And so a mirror appears, softly, silently, not before your body, but before your soul. You look into it and see your beliefs reflected, not as words, but as energy. Some are light, bright, strong. Others are dim, heavy, rooted in fear. You see one belief flickering in the corner. Money is good, but it always disappears. You see another. I want to be rich, but I'm not sure I'm worthy. Another. What if people judge me if I have too much? And yet another. It's safer to stay where I am than to grow. Let them appear. Don't fight them. Don't shame them. You are witnessing the unseen gatekeepers of your current financial reality. And witnessing is the first act of power. You reach out your hand and touch the mirror. The beliefs begin to shift, not because you fight them, but because you acknowledge them. You see them for what they are, not facts, but learned ideas, not truths, but programs. And you whisper softly within your chest, I choose now to release these beliefs. They are not who I am. They may have served me once, but they no longer lead me. And with that, the beliefs begin to dissolve. Some slowly, some all at once. And as they fade, new truths rise to take their place, bright, clear, ancient, and entirely yours. You see them emerging now. I am inherently worthy of wealth. Money is a reflection of the value I allow myself to hold. It is safe to grow, safe to receive, safe to shine. The more I allow, the more I attract. Wealth is not a struggle, it is my natural state. These beliefs do not need to be shouted. They need only to be felt, even gently, even softly. And as you feel them, truly feel them, the gate begins to respond. Its symbols glow, its shape shimmers, and slowly, silently, the unseen gate begins to open. You have passed through, not because you forced your way in, but because you've shifted your identity. Because the outer world can only give you what you are willing to believe you are worthy of. And now, you believe something different. And so the world must respond. You step through the gate, and the chamber beyond is unlike any you've seen. It is not a room. It is not even a place. It is a field, a vast, open, luminous space, infinite in every direction. This is the field of infinite potential, and your beliefs are the cursor that selects which version of reality you experience. You don't have to create it. It already exists. You simply have to believe yourself into alignment with it. You sit on a small rise in this field, and you feel the vibration all around you. Wealth, opportunity, connection, expansion, it is all here. Not metaphorically, literally. And your belief is what activates the bridge. The voice guides you into a short, powerful inner ritual. It invites you to create your belief blueprint. You are given 3 sacred statements, and for each one, you are invited to fill in the blank with words that resonate deeply with you. I am the kind of person who money naturally flows to me because I believe it is my destiny to take a moment now. Let your answers arise. There are no wrong words, only words that match your truth. Maybe you say, I am the kind of person who attracts money with ease. Money naturally flows to me because I am generous, aligned, and joyful. I believe it is my destiny to experience wealth and use it to elevate the lives of others. Or maybe you choose different truths. What matters is that they feel real, not because they are already proven in your life, but because you choose to adopt them anyway. That's what belief is, a choice, a permission, a self-hypnosis. And now, that choice becomes a vibration. The field around you begins to respond. You feel opportunities aligning, doors unlocking, energy opening, not because of hard work, but because of internal permission. The final step in this chamber is simple and sacred. You are invited to make a vow of belief, not to anyone else, not to prove yourself, but to you. You place your hands together over your heart, and silently, gently you say, I vow to believe in my worth. I vow to believe in my power. I vow to believe that abundance is not only possible, it is inevitable when I believe I deserve it. And with that, the chamber fades, not because it is gone, but because it now lives within you. You carry the field, you carry the blueprint, you carry the gate, and now you carry the key. You feel the momentum building. You feel your magnet growing stronger. You feel belief turning into embodiment. And as you walk calmly forward into the next phase of your journey, the voice leaves you with this final whisper. You do not have to know how. You only have to know it is yours. Belief will guide the rest. Let yourself rest now. Let your new belief settle into your cells. Let your nervous system adjust to the new normal. And know with unshakable certainty, you are becoming what you once only dreamed of. Not someday, but now. And in chapter 4, you will awaken your vision, the images, the imagination, the mental movie that will magnetize your entire reality. But for now, let yourself simply believe. Chapter 5, the vision of wealth. Let the stillness linger just a little longer. You've passed through the unseen gate of belief, and now something stirs within you. It's quiet, gentle, but powerful. A new energy forming like the rising of a sun just below the horizon of your awareness. There is a sense now that you are no longer just walking a path. You are shaping it with every thought, every breath, every feeling, and now with every vision you allow yourself to see. This is the 5th chamber, a chamber not of walls or mirrors, but of images. This is where the formless begins to take form, where the invisible becomes visible, where the world you desire is born first, not through labor, not through force, but through the silent art of visioning. You are about to enter the most sacred theater of all, the theater of the mind, a space that no one else sees, but one that creates everything you do. As you step forward, the light changes. It becomes soft, like dusk, dreamlike. The ground beneath your feet seems to dissolve, and now you are floating gently into a vast chamber of darkness, not the darkness of fear, but of infinite possibility. Before you stretches a wide, circular room domed like an observatory, with a high ceiling scattered with stars. This is the Temple of Vision, and here, in this sacred space, you will be shown what few ever realize, that everything you see in your life was once imagined, whether by you or by someone else. Every structure, every invention, every fortune, all of it began in the unseen screen of the mind. And so it is with wealth. Money is not created first in banks or businesses or jobs. It is created first in vision, and only those who see it can receive it. The voice returns. You recognize it instantly. Now it is your guide, your intuition, your inner knowing. And it speaks not in lecture, but in loving reminder. What you see within, you invite without. What you imagine, you energize. What you rehearse in the mind, you program into the field. Take a breath. Let this truth open you, because now you are ready for the next level. You are ready to become a master of inner vision. You are guided now to a soft, round cushion in the center of the room. You sit effortlessly. And as your body relaxes, your inner sight awakens. The dome above begins to glow. A film begins to play, not of fiction, but of your future. You are shown a version of yourself, not distant, not unreachable, but already within reach. This version of you is living a life of abundance, of ease, of alignment. You watch as you move through your days calm and confident. You see the numbers in your account rise. You see opportunities find you. You see the home, the clients, the freedom, the love, not as fantasies, but as echoes of a reality forming around you. And as you watch, something extraordinary happens. You begin to feel what you see. The vision is no longer distant. It's emotional, physical, sensory. This is the true secret. Vision without emotion is fantasy. But vision with feeling becomes magnetism. You are no longer an observer. You are a participant. Step now into the movie. Don't just watch your future enter it. You feel yourself standing in your ideal life. Look around you. See the home that holds you. Feel the light pouring in through large windows. Touch the furniture, the fabrics, the floor beneath your feet. Walk into your ideal financial space. Maybe it's your home office, your business, your studio, your sanctuary. See the beauty, the elegance, the ease, the functionality. Sit down. Look at your bank account. Yes, you can see the screen clearly. And you feel the relief, the excitement, the peace. Notice how you move. You're not rushing, you're not shrinking. You're walking with certainty, with gratitude, with quiet power. See yourself giving with ease to those you love, to causes you care about. See their joy. See how your wealth ripples out to touch others. Now, step into a moment of celebration. You've just received something extraordinary, a windfall, a contract, a divine surprise. See the message arrive. See yourself smiling, laughing, crying with joy. Feel your nervous system adjusting to the feeling of everything working out. Let it sink into your cells. Let your body believe it's real, because to your subconscious it already is. The more vividly and repeatedly you practice this vision, the more real it becomes. The more familiar it becomes, and the more your energy field begins to match it. And when your field matches your vision, reality bends to reflect it. You're not chasing anymore. You're remembering, you're preparing, you're aligning. Now step back from the scene. Float gently above your future self. Bless them. Smile at them. Know that their reality is coming into form through your vision now. And gently return to the temple room. The screen fades. The cushion remains beneath you, and the voice returns once more. What you see consistently, you believe. What you believe, you become. And what you become, you attract. Now the ritual begins. You are guided to create your own vision practice, and it begins with 3 questions. Let them echo inside you now. If money were no obstacle, what would my days look like? What would my body feel like in total freedom? Who would I be if I fully trusted abundance? Take your time. See the answers. Feel them. Let them imprint, because this is how you reprogram the matrix of your reality. Not through force, but through intimate imagining. You are invited now to make visioning a sacred daily ritual. Each morning or night, sit in stillness. Close your eyes. Play your inner film. Feel it. Smell it. Touch it. Hear it. Speak softly within. This is real. This is now. This is mine. And each time you do this, your magnet strengthens. Your signal grows clearer. The universe responds. Because vision is not just seeing, it is choosing. It is preparing. It is vibrating. It is becoming. The voice leaves you with this truth. If you do not direct your mind, the world will. And if you do not choose your vision, your past will repeat itself. But if you train your inner eye, your outer world will obey. And so you rise from the cushion, change, not because something has happened, but because something is already happening. A future is being magnetized to you. And not just any future, the one that matches the images you are willing to hold. The one you no longer call someday, because you know it begins today. You leave the chamber slowly, quietly, with reverence. And as you pass beneath the arch, the stars overhead shimmer one last time. A soft wind carries this final affirmation through the corridor, like a lullaby from the cosmos. I see wealth within. I feel it now. And so, it must come, because I have become the vision itself. Let yourself rest now. Let the images play behind your eyelids. Let the emotional blueprint sink deeper. Let your magnet grow stronger, without effort, only trust. And when you are ready, the next chamber will await. Chapter 6. The frequency of receiving. You move forward, slow and steady, not rushing, not chasing, just allowing. The vision is still alive in your mind. The colors, the details, the feelings. You saw the wealth. You felt the future. You let yourself imagine again without limits. And now comes the part most people miss. Not the dreaming, not the desiring, but the receiving. Because wealth does not only require belief, it does not only require vision, it requires a vessel. And receiving is an art, a frequency, a silent language of readiness. So many ask for more. So many affirm, visualize, even pray, but when the opportunity arrives, the blessing, the idea, the unexpected fortune, they freeze, they question, they shrink, they say, "Who am I to accept this?" Or worse, they don't even see it because their system is still wired for waiting, not welcoming. But you are ready to receive. You are walking now into the sixth chamber, the most open, most delicate, most feminine space in this entire sacred temple. This is the room of receptivity, the frequency of receiving. And it begins, not with doing, but with softening. You step into a chamber draped in sheer fabric, flowing like water, shifting like clouds. There are no sharp edges here, only curves, only comfort. The floor is soft. The lighting glows gold and pink. It feels like being held. And that is the truth of receiving. You must allow yourself to be held by life, by grace, by abundance. You move toward the center of the room, where a circular pool ripples with warm, luminous water. Not a bath, not a fountain, but a symbol. The receptive chalice, an ancient archetype found in every sacred culture, the cup, the grail, the womb, the bowl. It does not chase. It does not force. It only opens and receives. The voice returns now, softer than before, like wind through leaves, like the whisper of a river, and it says, all the abundance you've asked for, all the wealth you've desired, already exists, but you must make room for it. You feel it, not just as words, but as truth. To receive, you must be in a state of openness. And so we begin. You're invited to sit beside the sacred pool. You place your hands on your lap, palms facing up, a symbol, ancient and powerful, of receptivity. And you breathe in, out, in again, no effort, just gentle awareness. And as you breathe, you begin to notice. There are places within you that are still clenched, still braced, still trying to protect, control, or prove. But receiving doesn't happen through tension. It happens through trust. So now, in this moment, you speak to those inner contractions. It's safe to relax now. It's safe to let go. It's safe to receive. Let those words echo through your body. Repeat them in the silence of your chest, like waves on the shore. It's safe to receive, because here is what no one teaches. If you are not open to having what you want, you will block yourself from receiving it. So ask yourself gently, have I allowed myself to truly receive? Not just the idea of money, but the reality of it, the ease of it, the joy of it, the flow of it. Can I imagine myself saying yes when the gift appears? Yes when the opportunity arrives? Yes when the door opens? Can I say thank you instead of, are you sure? Or, I don't deserve this? Because this is what changes your frequency. Receiving begins with permission. And so now we begin a powerful inner ritual, the opening ritual. Close your eyes. Visualize yourself sitting beneath a waterfall of golden light. This light is not water, it is wealth itself. Not just money, but energy, love, opportunity, support, overflow. It pours down from above effortlessly, and all it needs is a container. You are that container. Let the light touch your crown. Let it run down your spine. Let it fill your chest. Let it soften your belly. Let it swirl in your hands. Now, see yourself resisting it. Maybe a part of you wants to step away from the waterfall. Maybe a part of you feels unworthy. Let it speak, and then say, I hear you, I love you, but I choose to receive. Now step back in. Let the waterfall pour through you, and say, I open, I receive, I welcome. Let your cells drink in the energy. Let your field become a magnet. You're not doing anything. You're simply being available, because most people are not struggling from lack of opportunity. They are struggling from lack of receptivity. Now bring your awareness to your body. Notice any area that still feels braced or blocked. Maybe your shoulders, your heart, your jaw, your hips, wherever it is, breathe into it. And speak, it's safe to let go. I soften. I allow. Now feel into this idea. Receiving is a skill, a frequency, a practice, and it can be strengthened. Every time you let someone help you, you practice receiving. Every time you accept a compliment, you practice receiving. Every time you say yes to a gift, an opportunity, a moment of grace, you say yes to the flow of life. Now ask yourself, where have I been blocking receiving? Where have I said no when I longed to say yes? Where have I stayed small when life was inviting me to expand? Let the answers rise. Without judgment, this is awareness, and awareness is power. You are now invited to create your own receiving practice. It begins with a daily yes. Every morning, ask yourself, where will I say yes today? Where will I open? Where will I let it be easy? Where will I allow someone to support me, compliment me, love me, give to me? The more you say yes, the more you build the muscle of receiving, because the universe mirrors your openness. If you say, I want more, but energetically reject it when it arrives, life listens to your energy, not your words. So now we turn to affirmation, but not in effort, only in alignment. Let these words ripple through you now, slowly. I am now a match to receiving. I allow myself to be supported. I open my hands, my heart, and my field to the flow of wealth. I release the belief that I must do everything alone. I receive with joy, grace, and ease. I am ready. I am willing. I am open. Stay in this frequency. It is not passive. It is not lazy. It is magnetic. This is the posture of the universe itself, always giving, always flowing, always offering. And when you match that flow, you become part of the circuit of abundance. Let's take this deeper now. You're invited to rewrite a few powerful beliefs. Say them within, not just in words, but in energy. I am no longer embarrassed to receive. Receiving does not make me greedy, it makes me whole. I trust myself to hold wealth wisely. It's not too good to be true. It's true because I am good. Let these truths sink into your subconscious now. Let them vibrate into the field. You are changing. You are becoming not just someone who asks, but someone who receives. The room around you begins to fade now, not into darkness, but into radiance. You are glowing. You are open, and the universe feels it. You rise slowly, calmly, no rush. Your field is soft, spacious, magnetic. You've entered the frequency of receiving, and from this point forward, wealth will find you more easily. Not because you begged for it, but because you finally made room for it. As you step into the next corridor, a breeze follows you filled with golden petals, and a voice whispers softly, "The river has always been flowing. All you had to do was open the gates." Let yourself rest now. Let your body stay open. Let your system recalibrate to this new default. Receptivity, grace, allowing. And when you're ready, you'll be guided into Chapter 7, where we explore the magnetic truth of gratitude and expansion. But for now, let it in. You are ready. You are open. You are receiving. Chapter 7, Gratitude and Expansion. The temple has grown quiet. The halls echo not with sound, but with space. A sacred stillness surrounds you, the kind of stillness that only comes after something has been activated. You can feel it in your body, can't you? Something is different now. You're not just learning these teachings, you're remembering them. You're not just hoping anymore, you're aligning. And in this moment, without effort, without striving, you realize You are already abundant, not someday, not later, but now. And the feeling that wells up from within is soft, subtle, but powerful. It's not excitement, not pride, not ambition. It's something older than those things, something deeper. It's gratitude, the purest magnetism in the universe, the frequency of receiving, the vibration of enoughness, the signal that tells the cosmos, yes, I am aligned. Yes, I am ready. Yes, I already have. And what you already have, the universe multiplies. This is the ancient law. This is the doorway you now approach. Welcome to the 7th chamber of secret knowledge. This is the place of gratitude and expansion. And within it lies a power so profound, it has been hidden in plain sight for thousands of years. Spoken in sacred texts, whispered by mystics, overlooked by the impatient, but never forgotten by those who live in true abundance. The path before you is soft, carved not of stone, but of sand. And as you walk it, you leave behind impressions, footprints of grace. The air around you is warm, golden, rich with the scent of jasmine and cedar. You are walking now into a space that receives you without asking anything in return. A space that reflects the deepest truth. You are already blessed, and the more you see your blessings, the more they will multiply. The voice within you speaks again, softer now, more like a breath than a sound. It says, most seek more because they do not see what they already have. Most ask and ask and ask, never realizing they are standing in the middle of miracles they forgot how to recognize. And so, in this sacred chapter, we shift the gaze. We do not reach. We remember. We do not push. We appreciate. And from this state, we expand. Because that is what gratitude does. It expands. It stretches your frequency to match more. It opens the vessel wider. It tunes your vibration to wealth. Not the wealth you hope to have, but the wealth that is already here. Take a breath. Let your body soften. There is nothing to chase right now, only something to feel. You arrive at the center of this chamber. Before you stands a great tree, wide, tall, ancient. Its roots stretch deep into the unseen. Its branches open into the stars, and from its limbs hang thousands of golden leaves, each one glowing with a word, a name, a memory, a moment. This is the tree of gratitude, and its fruit is expansion. You step closer. You reach for one of the leaves. It bears a simple word, breath. You smile. You hadn't even thought of it yet. It is the foundation of everything. You pull another. It says warmth. Another, lessons. Another, this moment. And you realize gratitude is not found in the spectacular. It lives in the quiet, in the overlooked, in the familiar. And when you begin to see it again, everything begins to shift. You are now invited into a sacred practice. Take a seat beneath the tree. Let your back rest against its trunk, and close your eyes. Let your breath slow. Let your body receive the ground, and begin to speak within or aloud the ancient invocation of expansion. Thank you for this breath. Thank you for this life. Thank you for every moment that brought me here. Thank you for the money I have. Thank you for the money I have spent. Thank you for the money that is on its way. Thank you for the lesson. Thank you for the teachers. Thank you for the moments I thought were failures and were actually redirection. Thank you for the miracles I didn't notice. Thank you for the protection I'll never fully understand. Thank you for the inner strength that kept me alive when I almost gave up. Thank you for this moment, for this silence, for this return. And now, let's go further. Let's step into preemptive gratitude. Gratitude for the future as though it has already arrived. This is the most powerful kind. This is what expands your field before the money shows up. Because you are saying to the universe, I already feel it. I already believe it. I already know. Repeat softly now, like a lullaby to your soul. Thank you for the opportunities already coming toward me. Thank you for the financial blessings already en route. Thank you for the clients, the contracts, the checks, the cash, the clarity. Thank you for the house I will live in, the car I will drive, the generosity I will give. Thank you for the version of me who is already living this future. And thank you for guiding me to become them. Breathe. Let that wash through you, because this is how you shift timeline. You don't beg, you don't hope. You feel as if it's already here, and then the quantum field must rearrange itself to match your signal. You are no longer asking for wealth like it is outside of you. You are acknowledging it like it is already yours. Because it is. Because every reality already exists, and your frequency is your choice of destination. Now rise slowly. The golden leaves flutter gently in the breeze, and you are invited to do something sacred. Create your own gratitude ledger. You'll return to this daily, a small notebook, or a page in your journal, or a scroll in your heart. Each evening, or whenever the light feels soft, write down 10 things you are grateful for today, 5 things you are grateful for in advance, 3 things you are grateful for, even if you don't understand them yet. This is not a performance. It is a portal. Each entry widens the gateway. Each word opens your field. Each expression of thanks says, I see what I have, therefore I am ready for more. Because you can only hold what you've made space for, and gratitude makes space. Now the voice returns, not as teacher, but as reminder. Gratitude is not passive. It is an active force, a wealth technology. It tells the universe you are not lacking, you are overflowing. And in overflow, abundance flows, not just because it can, but because you will allow it. Now imagine your entire life, your home, your finances, your relationships infused with a golden thread of gratitude. Imagine each moment stitched with light, each choice guided by thanks, each breath expanding your capacity to hold more. And now say aloud or within, I am grateful for what is. I am grateful for what was. I am grateful for what is coming. And in this gratitude, I expand. Feel your energy growing, not from pressure, not from effort, but from openness. You are stretching, you are blooming. You are becoming more magnetic, more receptive, more radiant with every breath of thanks. The tree above you begins to shimmer with light. You look up, and the golden leaves begin to fall, slowly like petals, like feathers, like blessings. Each one carries a vibration, a gift, a quiet miracle, and they land on your shoulders, your lap, your hands, your heart, and you understand these are the blessings you've already earned by your gratitude. They are not rewards, they are reflections. And now, as you stand, you feel it. You are full. You are grateful. And therefore, you are expansive. The next chamber awaits, but there is no rush. Because this feeling is the most magnetic thing in the world. You are no longer waiting to be blessed. You are living as if you already are. And that, dear soul, is the ultimate secret. Gratitude is the seed. Expansion is the bloom. Abundance is the harvest. Let that truth ripple through you. Let it echo through your field. Let it awaken the next layer of your wealth magnet. And as you walk toward the next threshold, the voice leaves you with a final whisper. The more you love what is, the more life will give you to love. Let go. Let breathe. Let rest. You have expanded, and now the universe will meet you at this new level. Next, in part 8, you will step into the living energy of embodiment, where abundance is no longer something you believe in or visualize, but something you become. But for now, just whisper softly one last time, thank you. Chapter 8, Embodying the Wealth Identity. You've come a long way. You've wandered through the inner temples of mind and memory, crossed the sacred bridges of belief and imagination. You've tasted the waters of vision, touched the golden light of gratitude, and remembered the language of receiving. But now something different is being asked of you. Not a new affirmation, not another visualization, but something deeper, something cellular, embodiment, to become what you desire, not only in thought, not only in word, but in vibration, in movement, in presence, in posture, in the invisible field of being that surrounds you at all times. This is the turning point in your journey. This is where theory becomes reality. This is where wealth becomes your identity. Not a costume you wear to attract success, but the truth you settle into like a second skin. You enter now the 8th chamber, and immediately the atmosphere shifts. Here, the walls are not made of stone or light, but mirrors. Tall, ancient, enchanted mirrors that reflect more than your physical form. They reflect your essence, your alignment, your self-concept. This is the hall of embodiment, and you stand at its threshold, not as a seeker anymore, but as something else. As a becoming, the voice within you, the one you now know so well, returns in a tone you've never quite heard before. It is no longer whispering, it is declaring. To receive what you seek, you must become the version of yourself who already has it. It's a simple sentence, but it lands like thunder wrapped in velvet. You pause, you breathe, and you feel the weight of those words, not heavy like a burden, but heavy like truth. Because here's what most never understand. You cannot outperform your identity. You cannot attract from lack or magnetize from misalignment. If you still believe you're someone who struggles, if you still carry the self-image of someone who must beg, prove, or strive, then no amount of affirmation will change your reality, because your reality always returns to your identity. So now, the mirrors invite you in, not to judge, not to correct, but to see. You step closer, and you see a version of yourself, faint at first, but shimmering with potential. This version of you is not different in appearance, but in energy. There is a stillness in their posture, a grace in their breath, a calm knowing in their presence. You study this version closely. You watch how they stand, how they speak, how they carry themselves. There is no rush, no fear, no trying, only being. And then it hits you. This is not someone you need to become. This is someone you already are. You've just buried them beneath years of fear, self-doubt, and societal programming. And now, you are uncovering them, piece by piece, layer by layer, with breath, with presence, with intention. You reach out, and the mirror does not feel cold. It feels alive. And as you touch the surface, your reflection responds. Not by mimicking, but by merging. You close your eyes and step in. You are now inside your wealth identity. Feel it, not as imagination, but as embodiment. Feel the weight in your feet, solid, rooted, worthy. Feel the openness in your chest, not tight, not guarded, but receptive. Feel your shoulders roll back, not in tension, but in dignity. Feel your jaw unclench, your breath deepen, your spine align. This is how wealth stands. This is how wealth breathes. This is how wealth walks, slowly, deliberately, calmly. Now imagine yourself walking into your day from this embodiment, not needing to prove, not needing to chase, not shrinking to make others comfortable, but holding a quiet confidence that speaks louder than any words. Because when you are the magnet, you do not need to shout. You do not need to push. You simply radiate. This is your new default. This is the state you return to. And this is the most powerful practice of all. Now, the voice invites you into a ritual, one you can use again and again. It is called the Wealth Identity Rehearsal, and it begins like this. Find a mirror, any mirror. Look into your own eyes, not to criticize, not to judge, but to witness. Stand tall. Relax your jaw, soften your gaze, and say silently, I am now embodying the version of me who already has it. Now ask yourself, how does this version think? How does this version feel? How does this version make decisions? How does this version of me respond to challenges, to delays, to opportunities? Now, speak 3 sentences aloud as this version of you. Try it now. Here's an example. Money flows to me because I am ready to receive it. I walk into every room knowing my energy creates value. I no longer perform for approval. I embody my truth. These are not words of aspiration. These are words of identity. And every time you speak them from the body, from the breath, from the posture of wealth, you become more magnetic. Because here's what the ancients knew. When you act in harmony with your identity, the universe must follow. Now breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth 3 times. Anchor it, seal it, feel it. You are no longer performing wealth. You are radiating it. You are no longer trying to get something. You are walking as someone who already has. This is the shift that changes everything. Because from here forward, you don't need to hope. You simply show up again and again and again until the repetition becomes muscle memory, and the muscle memory becomes embodiment, and the embodiment becomes your new normal. Now walk with me through a series of questions. Let them imprint into you. What habits does the wealthy version of me practice? What boundaries does that version uphold? What energy does that version carry into conversations? How does that version speak about money, about their own value, about the future? Let your answers rise, not from your mind, but from your knowing. And once you see them, begin practicing them. Not once, not perfectly, but consistently. This is the art of becoming. This is the discipline of identity. Not hard discipline, sacred discipline. And sacred discipline is what separates wishers from creators, because a wish lives in the mind, but an embodiment lives in the world. Now, as you leave this chamber, you don't look back, because the old identity no longer fits. You've outgrown it. The one who begged, the one who doubted, the one who apologized for their brilliance, they are gone. Not with violence, not with judgment, but with compassion, with release, because you now walk as wealth, speak as wealth, think as wealth, and soon the world will reflect it, not as magic, but as alignment, as cause and effect, as the natural outcome of a soul that finally remembered who they are. Now, before you leave this chamber, take a final breath and speak these words as a vow, as a declaration, as a remembrance. I am no longer becoming. I am now being. I do not wait to feel abundant. I embody abundance now. I do not wait to be chosen. I walk as the one who already is. I am wealth in motion, and the world responds to who I am. Breathe, feel it, let it echo through your field, because in chapter 9, you will no longer ask, what should I do? You will ask, what would my wealth self choose? And from that place, your action will become magnetic. Your results will become inevitable. But for now, walk softly, with presence, with peace, because wealth no longer visits you, it lives in you. And everywhere you go, you carry the frequency of who you've become. Chapter 9, Magnetic Action and Aligned Momentum. There comes a point on the path where stillness turns into motion, where being flows into doing, where what you've envisioned begins to take form not only within, but without. You have walked the inner halls. You've breathed the light of gratitude. You've dissolved the walls of resistance. You've stepped into embodiment, no longer hoping to become, but walking as if you already are. And now, The magnet you've been activating within must meet the external world. This is where momentum is born, not from frantic action, not from hustle or urgency or fear, but from what the ancient mystics called aligned motion movement that emerges from clarity, confidence, and spiritual truth. This is the secret of part 9. This is the realm of magnetic action and aligned momentum. As you step into this new chamber, it feels different again. No longer still like the previous halls, but alive. Kinetic, electric. There is motion here, not chaotic but rhythmic. It moves like waves, like wind, like breath. This is the chamber where the invisible becomes visible, where the seed breaks the soil, where the idea becomes the offering. You walk through a corridor filled with flowing banners, each one inscribed with words like intention, choice, direction, and flow. And you understand you are about to become the initiator. No longer waiting, no longer hesitating, no longer questioning your readiness, but finally moving in harmony with who you are. The voice returns, your inner knowing, now louder, more grounded, more clear. You are a magnet, but even a magnet must move to meet what it draws. It's not about running. It's not about striving. It's about acting in alignment with the reality you've already claimed. Aligned action is not forced. It's not reactive. It's not driven by fear. Aligned action is sacred. It is born from the version of you who already knows where they're going and takes steps from that knowing. Let that truth echo for a moment. Because action without alignment leads to burnout, but alignment without action leads to stagnation. It is the fusion of the two that creates wealth that flows, grows, and stays. So how do we take magnetic action? Not just any action, but action that amplifies your manifestation? We begin here with this powerful question: what would my wealth identity do today? Not tomorrow, not next year, today. Ask it now. And listen, would they write the email, make the call, open the account, clean the space, say yes to the offer, say no to the distraction? Would they take the leap or rest with purpose? Would they speak up, launch the idea, set the boundary? Magnetic action is not always dramatic. It is often small, intentional, repeatable, and in its simplicity, it builds momentum that becomes unstoppable. You're invited now into a sacred process, the 3-step flow of aligned momentum. Step 1, listen for the impulse. Your body already knows what's next. Aligned action does not begin in logic, it begins in intuition. It feels like a whisper, a nudge, a quiet pull. Reach out to her. Try this. Start here. Clean that. Say no. Say yes. Listen. Feel. Wait for the pull. It always comes. Step 2. Act in the energy of faith. Don't wait to feel confident. Confidence is often the result of action, not the prerequisite for it. Act in the frequency of belief. Trust that your action is enough. Trust that it is opening doors. Trust that it matters even if you don't yet see the outcome. Because all momentum starts in mystery. The first step rarely shows the full path, but it is always sacred. Step 3, stay in motion without forcing. Keep moving. Keep showing up. Keep choosing, but do it with presence, with grace, with calm. You don't have to move fast. You just have to move aligned. This is how wealth meets you. Not when you prove yourself, but when you show up again and again as your wealth identity in motion, Now you're invited into the daily magnet practice. Each morning, before the noise, ask, what one action today would amplify my abundance? And trust what rises. It might seem small, a message, a post, a decision, but magnetic wealth is often built from micro alignments. And when done consistently, they compound. Tiny actions taken from a powerful state create quantum results. Now pause and ask yourself, where have I been waiting to be ready? Where have I been delaying action, waiting for perfection? Where have I confused alignment with inaction? Let the answers rise. This is clarity. This is truth. And from here we choose differently. Now speak this softly within. I choose aligned momentum. I no longer wait. I no longer hesitate. I take action from my wealth identity. And every action compounds my magnetic power. The voice speaks again. The universe is waiting for your movement. It already knows what you want. It's watching how you show up. And so we begin to walk differently, not as beggars of luck, but as builders of reality. And the tools are simple. Your time, your focus, your clarity, your devotion. You are no longer moving from pressure, you're moving from presence. You are no longer acting from fear, you're acting from identity. And that is the ultimate leverage. You are now shown a sacred symbol, a golden spiral turning endlessly outward. It represents the nature of aligned momentum, small at the center, expanding slowly, then rapidly, then infinitely. This is your life now. You're no longer spinning your wheels. You're spiraling upward. And the only requirement is to keep going. Keep returning to truth. Keep choosing faith. Keep taking steps that match the version of you who already has. The room begins to hum with energy. You feel it now. Your field is not passive. It's alive. It's active. It's moving forward. And so are you. You walk now with a calm urgency. Not a rush, but a rhythm. You trust the timing. You trust the compounding. You trust yourself. Because magnetic action is not about how much you do, it's about who is doing it. And you are different now. Say this silently. I am the one who moves in alignment. Every action I take is backed by intention, clarity, and abundance. I no longer fear action. I move with the universe at my back. Now, let's take this deeper. Aligned momentum also requires release. Release of distractions. Release of comparison. Release of outcomes. You are not here to force results. You are here to create resonance. And the result will match the energy of the action. So when you act from fear, the results reflect fear. But when you act from wealth, even a simple action echoes through the field. This is mastery. Now, commit not to hustle, but to devotion. Choose one action today that reflects your highest wealth identity. Just one. And take it with presence. Take it with calm. Take it with confidence. And know you just changed your future. Because when your action matches your identity, reality shifts. Now, the chamber begins to brighten. Not because it is ending, but because you are beginning. No longer sitting in stillness. Now walking in power. Momentum has found you. And wealth is following close behind. As you step into the corridor that leads to the final chapter, you feel it. The work is not done, but the waiting is. You are no longer becoming magnetic. You already are. And everything you desire is already on its way. Chapter 10, The Completion. living as a money magnet. The path has been long, hasn't it? Not in distance, but in depth. You didn't just travel across time or pages or practices. You traveled inward, through illusions and layers, through stories and identities, through shadows and awakenings. You remember what the world tried to make you forget. You've reawakened the ancient truth that wealth isn't something to chase. It's something to tune into. And now, as the final door opens, you realize something extraordinary. You were never learning. You were remembering. You were never becoming. You were returning to who you've always been beneath the noise. This is the final chamber. The place of integration, the space where everything you've absorbed becomes your natural way of being. This is not the end of your journey. It is the beginning of your life as a living money magnet. And as you step into this space, something shifts. The walls are gone. There is no ceiling, no floor, only horizon. You are standing in a boundless field of golden light. There is wind here, movement, and presence. It's as if the universe is breathing through you. You are no longer the student, no longer the wanderer. You are the embodiment of all the secret knowledge. You are what this entire path has been preparing you for. So breathe, softly, deeply. You're home. And now we seal this path. We activate the full integration of everything you've become. Let's begin with the 5 truths that define the money magnet. 1. Wealth is a frequency, not a finish line. It's not somewhere you arrive. It's a place you live in, a way of being, a way of seeing, a signal you send with your breath, your decisions, your energy, and you are now fluent in that signal. 2. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. You've seen this, you've lived this, and now you embody this. You no longer ask the world to change before you shift. You shift first and watch the world rearrange itself accordingly. 3. You are always manifesting, even when you're unaware. Your field is always speaking. Your focus is always casting spells. Your energy is always calling forward your next moment. So now you choose to become deliberate. You choose to broadcast prosperity with intention because you know that your power has always been active. Now it is awake. 4. Gratitude is the multiplier of all things. You've moved beyond needing to prove your worthiness. You don't need permission to receive. You've remembered that wealth responds to appreciation, and you've practiced the sacred art of seeing what's already here, which means more will come. Always. 5. Action flows from alignment, not anxiety. You're done hustling from fear. You don't scramble for success. You create from calm, from clarity, from confidence. You walk as wealth now, and everything responds to who you are, not what you force. These 5 truths now live in your cells. They are not ideas anymore. They are your operating system. So now, let's go deeper into living as a money magnet. Not for one moment, but for a lifetime. What does it look like? What does it feel like? What do you do when being magnetic is no longer something you practice, but something you are? It looks like peace when others panic because you trust the unseen. It feels like certainty when others doubt because your inner compass is stronger than outside noise. It shows up as discernment, choosing quality over urgency, alignment over approval. You move with elegance. You say yes only when it resonates. You say no without guilt. You receive compliments without deflecting. You accept money without apology. You make decisions from a place of course, this is for me. Because when you're magnetic, you don't need to convince the universe. You simply co-create. Now speak softly within. I am no longer looking for wealth. I am living as wealth. My energy is the invitation. My presence is the confirmation. And the world responds. You are now shown the final ritual, the ritual of perpetual magnetism. It is simple, but it is sacred. Each morning, before the world enters your space, you enter your field. Close your eyes, place a hand on your heart, and ask one question: how does the wealth version of me choose today? Then move through your day as if you are already wealthy, not recklessly, not arrogantly, but embodied. You treat your time as sacred. You care for your environment. You nurture your body. You speak with intention. You manage your money not from fear, but from power. You show up not as a seeker, but as a source. Every action, no matter how small, becomes a declaration. This is how wealth lives, and this is how I now live. This is not acting. This is remembering. This is walking in truth. Now, pause. Let the silence come, because in silence, your identity settles deeper. This is who you are now, a living transmitter of prosperity. And so, wealth flows to you, through you, around you. It cannot help it. You are too aligned to resist. You are too open to deny. You are too grateful to delay. Now, a final practice. The mirror of magnets. Each evening before sleep, you stand before your reflection, not to analyze, but to affirm. Look into your eyes and say, I am magnetic to money. I am grateful for every form of wealth in my life. I walk as one who is ready. I trust the process. I have already received and more is on its way. Then you rest, not as someone waiting, but as someone allowing. You don't count the hours or force the timing. You've planted, you've watered, you've aligned. Now you let it bloom, because that's what real magnets do. They hold their frequency and trust the pull will do the rest. And now, this chapter closes, but your embodiment continues. You are no longer walking with a wish in your pocket. You are walking as wealth, wearing it like a second skin, silent, radiant, effortless. You've crossed the final threshold. You are no longer the seeker. You are the source. You are no longer waiting for abundance. You are abundance. And the secret knowledge is not something you learned. It's something you've always held within you, waiting patiently for this moment. And now it is awake, and it will never sleep again. Let the world see you. Let the world feel you. Let the world respond to the frequency you now carry in every breath, every glance, every choice. Because it will. It already is. You are magnetic now. And the universe is listening.